everyone, welcome to the Cornish Stitcher. This is episode 10 of my podcasts. Obviously there are vlogs in between those, but yeah, welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Welcome if you're new, you're very welcome here. My name is Ness or Vanessa, and I live in the southwest of England in Cornwall, in a small town about 15 miles into Cornwall from Plymouth, and about 7 miles from the coast. So yeah, perfect, kind of easy to get to, but easy to get to the beach. But you are perfectly welcome here. Apologies that it's been a little bit of time since my last podcast. I'll explain that in a minute. But I've grabbed myself a Christmas mug out of my new rotated Christmas mugs. I have a hot chocolate today, not a cup of tea. Felt a bit more comfort filling, and grab a drink, grab a project, settle in for hopefully what will be an interesting podcast. Yes, so where have I been? There have been several things happening, one not least of all related to health. So if you are a returning viewer, you may have watched the vlog where I talked about a diagnosis around fibromyalgia. And amongst all of that, as one of the many symptoms that I have, I also have the most horrific migraines, which are again increasing in severity and just knock me off my feet for days at a time. I'm finally being referred after 2 years to a neurologist, so hopefully some different medication and some increased kind of understanding of triggers and things like that will happen. But amongst all of this, that and the fatigue that has been immense for the last month has just knocked me completely from doing very much. So there's not much to show in terms of finished objects either, I'm afraid. So I'm also doing, if you're a returning viewer, you'll also know that I'm doing a college course alongside trying to set up a business, a sewing business, which I'll feature some things and some details about the website at the end. But amongst that and my college course, that's all really I've had to kind of capacity in terms of physical and mental health to deal with for a few weeks. But I'm back. I fully intend on doing Vlogmas. Monty, my 10-year-old, has set me the challenge of doing a video for every day, even if that means that there are 2 days in one video, if you see what I mean. So I might do the 9th and the 10th, or the 14th and the 15th together, but there will be coverage from every single day. He's set me that challenge. He's laying down the gauntlet. Let's see how we get on. Last year I managed sort of mid-December, and October I managed till sort of the middle of October. So we will see how I get on with that. Right, finished objects. I think I only have one to show you. So I've completed 3 more squares since I last saw you of my Sweet Shop blanket, and I'll pop a picture up here of what it looks like now. I've got 1 to do for November, and then we are still completely on track for 24 by the end of the year. I want it to be a big blanket, so I think in reality it's probably going to be this year and next year's project for long term. I just enjoy kind of pootling away on it. It's easy to take as a project if I'm in the car, or if I'm traveling somewhere. It's an easy kind of pick up and go, and I don't need to really think about, now I know the pattern, I don't really need to think about kind of increasing and decreasing too much. So it's a good pattern to take along. But what you may not know, I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, I'm planning on doing a fully homemade contents advent calendar for Matt, my husband, for this year. I'm brutally aware that today is the 27th of November. Vlogmas Advent starts on Sunday, and I've only completed some of the 24 things. But I think it will be fine. Some of them are edible, so they will need making closer to each of the days they're due. He's not going to be able to watch this podcast, is he? Some of them are, so I've made a noughts and crosses out of pebbles. I have made some clay items. I have also made this. So this is my finished object. This is a hat for him. It's a bit, there. It's a hat for him. Oh, it's not straight either. There we go. Right, a crocheted hat that I did, a pattern. I'll link it below. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And you kind of do it in these sections. And it's crocheted all into the back loop, which I have to admit is not my favourite technique. I find it quite laborious. But I'm quite liking how the ribbon has turned out. It's really comfy. It's in Aran weight. So this is in West Yorkshire Spinners Croft. Have I got the label in here? Elements. No. Bear with. I can't find it. Ethan is using my studio every Thursday night for tutoring for his GCSE science. So I keep coming in here on a Friday and finding it in a complete disarray. And I know today is Wednesday, but I haven't been in for a couple of days, and so there is stuff everywhere that shouldn't be in places, and he keeps dumping stuff on Mum's side, on Nanny's side, so she wasn't overly joyed either. So anyway, I will link it below which colourway it is, but it's it's a Sirdar, no it's not, it's a West Yorkshire Spinners Croft, and it feels quite rustic when it's in like this, but actually when it's on it's really warm. I think he'll love it when he goes out walking for his job every day. So I'm thinking, but I'm really pleased with how it worked out in the end. But as I said, back loop only of crochet is not my favourite. But I do love it. So that's being stored away, along with lots of other things that have and need to be finished and made. So the other finished object was my blanket. I also have almost finished. This is going to be the tightest project for the Advent, because I'm not able to knit on these waddies around. But I'm part way through a sock for him. He loves bright colours. And this is again a West Yorkshire Spinners, but this is a Yarndale colourway. I'm not entirely sure which one. But not very well today, am I? But I love how it's working up. I have managed to avoid too many holes. I've got a hole here on the heel, which I will need to stitch up. But no ladders up the foot or leg at all, which is very unusual for me for doing toe up. I use Wendy Poole, so she's actually a local designer to myself and a friend, but I initially got to know Wendy through going on one of her workshops on how to knit toe up socks. And I'm really lucky and honoured to say that she's now a friend of mine, and attends the same Knit and Natter, which we have continued. If you're a returning viewer, you will know that our Knit and Natter was disbanded because the shop closed, and a few of us were really missing it, and so we decided just to go to the pub. Well, that has continued, you'll be pleased to know, and has increased in size a little bit, and we are now regular features on the pub on a Wednesday evening, and Wendy is partaking in this group. So I shall take these along this evening because I have to knit during the day, but obviously I'm trying to work as well, and so I'm trying to frantically do these, and I've got a whole nother sock to do before the end of Advent. I'm very jealous. My friend Jen, who features very heavily mentioned in these podcasts, she's just doing DK socks, and hers are working up at a much faster speed because of the very nature of them being DK. I can see myself falling into the DK sock club. Anyway, I love how they're working up, and I think he will love them. I just have to hope and pray that they are done by the end of Advent. Works in progress. So this is my other major work in progress. So I am in the process of knitting using this. So this is Starcraft Highland Heathers, in the Wild Salmon colourway. yeah, that's showing colours off nicely. Yeah, and I am in the process of making the Harvest cardigan, which is a free pattern from Tin Can Knits. So anyone can download this. I'll try and show you the picture. I'm not sure I have the picture of the adult version. I certainly have the child's version, which it works up exactly the same. So it's this cardigan. So it's knitted top down. This is the first garment I've knitted top down, with splitting for sleeves, etc. And I think when I saw you last, I was just about to split for the sleeves. So I'm pleased to say sleeve splitting has been done. And I've dropped the wool. Really helpful. And it's on quite a small cable. I've bought a longer cable, but I haven't transferred it onto it yet. But actually, I'm really pleased. So this is where I am at the moment. You'll be able to see I've done the raglans here. I've picked up and stitched underneath the armholes. So it's coming on. It's just taking quite a long time around other projects. I really like it. I'm just now on straight knit purl rows. So it's an easy one to pick up and put down at the moment. And then just knit at the beginning and end of each row for the band. So it is an easy one to pick up. But as I say, the problem is my priority at the moment has got to be this advent calendar. Why I set myself these challenges, I do not know. You may remember this time last year, I said, I am not doing any knitting or crochet for gifts for Christmas 2024. And I did say that. And I have failed abysmally. So I'm not doing it for anyone else, only my husband. But I set myself these silly challenges, despite feeling unwell quite a lot of the time. So my plan is to absolutely not do any gift knitting next year whatsoever. Yeah, we'll see how that pans out, shall we? Last year I was in the midst of trying to crochet a blanket, and I was still going on the 23rd of December. After the 21st of December, it had gone horribly wrong, and I had stitched the crochet blanket together the wrong way round. And so I had to unpick the whole lot and restitch. And it finally got to its intended person on the 23rd. So I might have even gone on the 24th. But anyway, regardless, it's just not great at all. So that's my biggest whip at the moment. However, hold fire, because I have so this is in one of the bags that I've done, so I'll talk about these at the end, but it's in one of my own crochet bags. So I am planning on making, and had purchased, you may remember actually, I talked about this I think last time, the Padstow cardigan by Victoria Marchant. Now, I met Victoria in March, at this is the Padstow cardigan here. I love it. I met Victoria in March at the East Anglian Yarn Festival. Totally and utterly just adored her from the moment we met her. I love her ethos, I love her patterns, I love the fact that she was catering for everyone, sort of from child sizes right up to very large size, inclusive sizes, and despite wanting to lose lots of weight and therefore not knit huge garments for myself, I still love that size inclusivity and the options to be able to do so. I hate it when garment designers restrict the sizes. It's a real passion of mine. So I hit it straight off with Victoria, just loved her to pieces. So I was really sad to see that this week she's announced on Instagram that she is going to have to close her business, at least temporarily, for a couple of years at least, just until things are easier around kind of her and her whole kind of life situation. I I know that she's going to keep up pattern support for kind of 6 months afterwards, and that there is quite a large reduction on her pattern prices. So if anyone really wants to go and get some gorgeous patterns, go and look at her website. She has the most gorgeous kind of everything, from a garment to a pair of gloves to a shawl to a hat to everything, and I just love them. But I have yet to cast on the Padstow cardigan, and this is the colourway that I'm planning on doing it mainly in. So it calls for 1 strand of 4-ply and 1 strand of lace weight or mohair. So I've got this colourway, which is Steel by Lay Family Yarns. No, it's not. I'll tell a lie. It's Pewter. Honestly, my head. It's Pewter by Lay Family Yarns, and I'm holding it double with this, which is a Blue Surf lace by Malabrigo, and I got this from Wool Warehouse. And this is my lace weight. Is it going to focus? Yeah, maybe there. So these are going to be held together. Oh, there we go. I'm going to hold these together and cast on the Padstow cardigan. Now the plan was originally to cast it on. Then the plan was to finish the pink, but I really want to cast it on. And my friend Lucy, who attends my Knit and Natter, is also wanting to cast it on. So I think I'm going to try and finish these socks. These socks are going to be a priority for me to finish for the Advent. But obviously I can't knit on those in the evening when Matt's there. So my plan is to try and knit the Padstow cardigan. That's my plan. Whether I succeed is another matter. It's knit on really big needles actually for its size of yarn. I know that you can substitute it with a DK yarn if you'd rather, but I love that pewter yarn from Lay Family. It's just divine. So that's, and I think it's knitted on, I want to say 5mm. It might be even 5.5mm needles. It's a big old needle size. 6mm needles for working flat and 5.5 needles for working flat and in the arm. So yeah, so it's knitted on big old hefty size needles for an equivalent of a DK weight. So I think it's going to be quite a light open gauge. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's what I really want to make. And I wanted to really have it finished so I could wear it to the East Anglian Yarn Festival this year, to show this next March, to show her. But obviously as she's closing the business, she's not going to be vending at the show, so it makes me a bit sad. But I've also got other plans to make. So in amongst all of this, some of you may remember my friend Jen and I have been collating and making each other our own advent calendars, yarn-based advent calendars. So way back in sort of springtime, we said, oh, it would be amazing if we could create our own advent calendars for each other. So we decided that we would give each other a mood board for making them as inspiration to go and purchase the yarn to put into said advent calendar. We agreed on 10-gram 4-ply minis as a general rule, and that we will collate them into a proper advent box and exchange them. I now have mine, which I will reveal on Sunday, on the first day of Vlogmas. I'll pop a picture up here of Jen's, but it's only literally as it was in its packaging. And I can't show you all the contents of it because A, I forgot to take a picture before I wrapped it all, and B, she would absolutely watch this and cheat and look at it, wouldn't she, Jen? Yes. So I am not going to reveal what it was. I will show you a copy of, I need to turn the middle here. I will put up here a copy of her mood board, and I'll put up here a copy of my mood board. And prepare to be quite astounded at the differences. They really show our very different styles of knitting and crochet love. Despite being the closest and firmest and best of friends, this will show you the difference in our personalities. It's quite astounding when people look at, oh, they're very different. They're very different styles. Yes, they are. Absolutely. I also have the Green Lambkin Yarn Enchanted Forest advent, and my plan is for that I'm going to try and do a Battenberg blanket. So I'm currently in the process of scaling up some, I've got 10 gram minis, some 10 gram minis to work out which I'm going to do it in. I think probably I've done one traditional granny square, and I've ordered all my off-white. I'm using drops as my off-white contrast, but I think I'm going to try and do a solid granny square this afternoon, see how big I can make it out of a 10 gram mini, and then use those as a guide for the rest of the blanket. My plan is potentially to make a Daft Days cardigan with the advent from Jen, but not until after Christmas, until I've got all the colours. And the Enchanted Forest one will be used to make through Advent. So clear the decks, do the sock, have the cardigan on the go, and each day when I open my Advent from Green Lambkin, I can quickly work up a granny square. It shouldn't take too long. I can work up a granny square relatively quickly. So that's my plan. And my plan is that actually if I get behind on a day or two, it's not a huge amount of pressure to just whip up a granny square or two at a weekend. And I ordered the Green Lambkin, no I didn't. I ordered the contrast wool today from Wool Warehouse for the drops. So my plan is that I'm going to try and get ahead in the next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days to try and get as many white creamy ones out as possible, so then I can focus on the coloured ones, whilst also doing this sock and this jumper cardigan, because I have nothing else to do. I have a college assignment due at the end of this term, but we'll see. I'm hoping that I can be well enough to do all of this, she says, on a very up day today rather than a down day. Yes, I think that's it. I don't think I have any acquisitions. I think I've been really good, other than my Wool Warehouse purchase. I don't think I've acquired any wool since Yarndale. I don't think I have, because I'm acutely aware that I'm going to... Oh no, I have. I went to Stitch Fest. Oh, I've packed that away. I might have to put a picture in. I'll put a picture in of what I got. I got 2 skeins from Bird Street Yarns, my favourites, one of my favourites, as you know. And I think that's it. Did I go anywhere else? Don't think I did. I also have knitting plans to make a hat out of my James Makes Yarn double knit that I purchased at the Southern Wool Show. I have far too many plans, far too many ambitions, and not enough time or energy to complete them. But ambition is good, right? I think. So the other thing is life update, that I took the boys and my mum in half term, and we pootled on up to Kent. Pootled to Kent from Cornwall, because you pootled to Kent. We went via Brighton and spent the day with my oldest and just gorgeous platonic soulmate in the whole wide world. I'll pop a picture up here of us, Leo, and we had a wonderful time with him. And then on Sunday we went to see, my dad's originally from Kent, so I have lots of family to go and see. So I saw my cousins and my aunts, amongst my dad's one of 6. So there are lots of us to go and see. So I did all of that, and then we spent the Monday in Whitstable, which I love. Tuesday we explored kind of Broadstairs, Ramsgate, and went in the Ramsgate tunnels, which I loved as well. We need to go deeper. We didn't go fully into them and pay to go around because we were short on time, but I just loved it. And then on the Wednesday we went to Dungeness, and I just love it. It's bleak. It is bleak. I get it's totally not everybody's cup of tea. It is a bleak old landscape, and I can imagine in the winter that is wild. But this is a girl who loves winter, who loves the moors, who loves wild seas. The wilder the weather, the better. I felt totally at home. It was like the bleakness that you get on Bodmin and Bodmin Moor and Dartmoor and Exmoor, but with the added bonus of it being coastal, and I just loved it. We were popped into the RSPB place there at Ormy Marsh, so we had a lovely time, and I'll pop some footage in at the end of kind of our time away and things that we did. We were really good at trying to pace for myself. I was the main driver, Mum did some of the driving as well, so I'm learning to pace rather than race, and that's becoming a bit of a mantra. Pace, not race, Ness. Pace, not race, because yeah, not the best at learning how to pace myself, and I'm drastically learning that the crashes that happen if I don't are quite significant. But anyway, so the business, the Cornish Stitcher, is going in a really good direction, and I'm really proud of what I'm starting to do and to achieve. So I'm starting to print and design my own fabrics and use those for bags, and there aren't any here at the moment because they are out with a local artisan group of makers that I've joined, and there was a craft fair at the weekend and a craft fair next weekend, and so they've got them ready. I've got one of my seconds that didn't work so well on the stitcher at the top, but it's perfectly usable. So this is kind of one of my C-based ones, and then I'm using some for pouches here and experimenting with colours and things like that, and I'm really loving how that's working out. So I'll pop the details on my shop in the bottom. There are also some pre-printed fabrics and sort of everyday fabrics, as I call them, there, featuring bags and some Christmas designs as well, so you might want to go and have a look. Feel free. But if not, yeah, thank you very much for watching. Apologies again for the delay and for a relatively short podcast, but hopefully I'll manage to have lots of finished objects for you through Vlogmas, which you might get snippets of, and then at the end of December I'll be able to show you a proper stash of FOs and finish Vlogmas with a really good podcast. Okay, I will be back on Sunday with the first episode. Monty is champing at the bit to be part of Vlogmas, goodness me. I will take everyone. I've spoken to several people at shows recently, and who've met me at various events and have said that they really like the vlogs and they like seeing where I take mum and dad on a Tuesday. So we've set a challenge for ourselves that we're going to do 3, I think it's 3, it might be 4 separate visits for you to show you various cafes and places in Cornwall during Vlogmas, so you can come along with us on our Tuesday jaunts. Anyway, take care everyone, and I will see you on Sunday. Enjoy the footage of Kent. Okay, bye.